told my fiancée Lin Qingwan about my university plans during our last meeting before the Gaokao results. She gave me a cold warning without even looking up from her phone. When you get to Qingbei University, register for a dormitory immediately. Don't come looking for me every day. Song Yichen will be jealous if he finds out. I didn't even lift my head. I simply replied with a flat, "Okay." She didn't suspect anything. She continued casually, "Also, on the day school starts, we don't need to register our marriage anymore. Those childhood promises don't count." I paused for half a second, then nodded obediently again, offering no explanation. I was going to the National Defense University, thousands of miles away. I had already given up on her long ago. Our goals were now perfectly aligned, to escape each other completely and never meet again. Just yesterday, I went to the high school office to find Teacher Li. I had thought it through clearly. I wanted to change my admission from Qingbei University to the cryptography and information security major at the National Defense University. The late autumn wind carried a biting chill. My thin figure stood ramrod straight, my eyes filled with unshakable determination. Teacher Li was stunned for a moment, then burst into joy. "Student Lu Yan, you've finally come to your senses? I thought you were really going to give up your precious spot to your cousin just to marry Qingwan. But you must understand, the decryption major at NTU is extremely special. You'll have to erase your past identity, change your name, and even your household registration. Have you discussed this with your family?" "There's no need for discussion. I can decide for myself." At the word, family, a flash of pain crossed my eyes, quickly replaced by calm relief. Once I completely vanished from their world, nothing would ever be stolen from me again. Because my
When I was a
youngest uncle
child,
had
my
drowned
parents
saving me
brought
from
my
this.
cousin Song Yichen home. They said I owed him a life and must yield to him forever to repay that debt. From then on, everything good, food, clothes, parental love, even my fiancée's affection, was given to him. Now they even wanted my hard-earned spot at Qingbei University. Last night, lying on the narrow iron bed on the balcony, I finally woke up after over 10 years of numbness. This time, I would not yield. I would sever all ties. Maple leaves burned red like fire. Walking down the cold street, my lonely silhouette contrasted sharply with the workers in blue uniforms cycling home with smiles on their faces. A bustling world that had never belonged to me. A black sedan suddenly pulled up, blocking my path. "Get in." The window rolled down, revealing Lin Qingwan's beautiful but icy face. She looked impatient. "Have you settled things with the school?" I remained silent. Of course I had settled it. But not by yielding my Qingbei spot as she demanded. Instead, I was heading somewhere she could never reach. Before I could speak, Song Yichen poked his head out from the back seat, proudly shaking a pile of new clothes, shoes, and a high-end watch. "Brother, look! Sister Qingwan bought me so many things. She said I can't let others look down on me at Qingbei University." My gaze locked onto the jade pendant hanging around Song Yichen's neck. My expression changed drastically. That was the token my grandmother had left me, the engagement gift I had given to Lin Qingwan. Lin Qingwan noticed my stare. A trace of embarrassment flashed across her face before she recovered. "Yichen liked it. It's not worth much anyway. Once we register our marriage, I'll buy you a better one." The pendant itself wasn't expensive. What it carried was the last remnant of warmth in my life. But in her mouth, it had become worthless. When Song Yichen heard the word marriage, intense jealousy flashed in his eyes. He immediately put on a pitiful act. "Sister Qingwan, brother seems unhappy. Is he blaming me for taking his spot? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have taken his things. I deserve to be unwanted." Lin Qingwan's face darkened instantly. She glared at me viciously. "Yichen's life has already been miserable enough. You have everything. Why must you still compete with him for this?" She comforted Song Yi-chen gently. Don't worry. The Qingbei spot is yours. No one can take it away. Then she turned back to me coldly. Walk home by yourself. Reflect on what you've done. Once you realize your mistake, apologize to Yi-chen. Otherwise, I will never forgive you. The car sped off, leaving me choking in a cloud of exhaust. I stood frozen on the roadside for a long time. Even when a maple leaf landed on my shoulder, I didn't move. The biting cold seeped into my bones. Biased parents. A faithless fiancé. I no longer needed any of them. The moment I stepped through the door, warm laughter filled the house. The moment I appeared, the laughter stopped abruptly. My mother glanced at me and pointed to a small stool in the corner. On it sat a bowl of plain rice with only a few withered vegetables. Meanwhile, their table was loaded with fish, meat, and delicacies. Sit down and eat, my mother said, reluctantly placing a single piece of fish into my bowl. This is your favorite. Actually, the one who liked fish was Song Yi-chen. Have you settled things with the school? My father asked sternly. Your cousin is going to university. You should start working part-time after graduation to help pay his tuition. Remember, you owe him this life.